What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode over at Third Gen Obsession. Today, I'm going to try to get this motor unseized. It's been sitting for about a week and a half with some PB blast in all the cylinders. I tried turning it with the wrench, but it's not moving. So, we're just going to take the valve covers off. We're going to see what kind of condition the pistons are in. Honestly, it's really not even worth saving, probably, because it's only the 6 cylinder 2.5. But it'd be kind of cool just to get it running. And if not, I do have a 350 in my garage that would be cool to put in it. So we're going to see how we make out today and kind of go from there. So I'm going to start by just disconnecting any of these little clips, anything that might be on the way. Get the intake off with all these bolts here. And then just start taking anything else apart that I have to get access to the valve covers since they're a little bit buried. So unfortunately here, my mic stopped working for most of the rest of the video. Basically just removed all those bolts using a 10 millimeter. I just put them back in place. I don't lose them. Disconnected some of the plastic and vacuum hoses, wires, stuff like that. Make it easy to get to. So here I got the intake off. Just a bunch of stuff to disconnect. Unfortunately, I have to cut out a lot of the video just because you can't hear anything I said in any of them. But this wasn't really a how-to video, I guess, so I'm not too upset about it, but it does kind of suck. But anyway, the next clip, kind of just explain the outcome of all this. So after taking the intake off and trying to get the valve covers off that were definitely not wanting to come off, had a couple bolts had snapped. There's a bunch of RTV or some kind of gasket material that's just like a sealant on there at this point. Not even worth trying to mess with. So I decided I'm just going to pull this motor. Once it's on a stand, it'll definitely be a lot easier to try to mess around with, to see if it's even worth fixing. Obviously, I'm not going to do a rebuild on it. If I am able to loosen up the pistons or get it to somewhat work, I'll throw it back in the car. Otherwise, it's just going to go to the scrapyard at this point. So I decided, since I'm at a dead end right there, I might as well just go and get the taillights replaced, since I have that set I bought a couple weeks back from one of my buddies. Car overall is in decent-ish condition. I'm not going crazy. It's more of just something to mess around with, kind of like a budget build. So it's going to get the new taillights in. I'll show you guys how to do that, what it consists of. Plus, made some pretty cool finds while taking the plastics off and everything, so stay tuned for that. As you can see, the interior is somewhat decent. I'm probably going to do a detailed video on that once it gets a little bit warmer, so you can see the difference there. I think it'll clean up pretty good. So the first problem I have is, in order to change out the taillights, you need to be able to open the trunk to remove the plastic piece that is against the back. As you saw in a previous video, I don't have the keys for it. I only change out the ignition cylinder. So I'm going to have to change out the lock cylinder for the trunk, which I'm going to have to order one and do, which I'll make a video on as well. So let the fun begin. I'm not a locksmith by any means, so the only option for me was to use a drill bit and just drill very aggressively until I got the cylinder completely just honed out. First step is to remove this little Phillips head right here, which I already did, but once you do that, it just pulls right off. I found some pretty cool things. I found the owner assistance information. I'll black out the address, but May 18th, 1985. That's pretty cool. Limited warranty. The original maintenance schedule. And an owner's manual. Alright, so as you can see on the back of the taillights, you have these little plastic nuts basically. This one broke. It's pretty fragile and brittle, but there's also two more back there. Same thing on this side. I already got that one off, and the one back there. So I'm just gonna finish unscrewing these, and the taillight should pop out. One other cool thing I just found. It's got the original spare tire in here. And the jack, that's something you don't see a lot. Once you get all these plastic pieces off, the taillight will pull out. I had one that was extremely brittle and just cracked apart on me, so I'll try to find a replacement, but just like that. Your taillight's off, and it's just a matter of going through, which everything's brittle and cracking on me. There's little tabs in here for the lights to push in and turn. This whole thing's falling apart, but I'll get the replacement on in just a minute. So just gotta get this last one out, which could be a little hard to reach. There we go. And just like that, it's out. We got the replacement taillight right here. I'm just gonna basically go through and repeat the process, putting them all back in. Not really sure if these bulbs even work or not, but at this point, that's really the least of my concerns. At least they'll look a little bit better sitting in my driveway. All the lights are hooked back up, and pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna push it back into place. I just gotta fix this quick, and then tighten down the plastic nuts again, and then repeat the same process on the other side. Got everything back together, all the plastics and everything inside. Got both taillights installed. Looks way better than those. That's the one obviously smashed out at some point. They're not perfect, but for this car, it'll work. All right, guys, so if you made it to the end of this video, please feel free to comment any ideas you might have for this car, whether it's even worth fixing. A lot of people probably think I'm crazy trying to fix up these 6-cylinder Camaros that aren't really worth much. But if you enjoy watching me put a bunch of time and effort and money into this against my better judgment, give me a like and feel free to subscribe. Thanks. See you guys next time.